If you're spending hours running to lose fat, you're wasting time, because sprinting can get you similar and sometimes better results in a fraction of the time. Sprinting can burn fat, build muscle, improve VO2 and overall health without hours of running. Let me explain. The American College of Sports Medicine recommendations for healthy adults is a minimum of 150 minutes of moderate intensity or 60 minutes of high intensity aerobic activity. The problem with this is many adults live busy lives where it's very difficult for them to dedicate 150 minutes of cardio a week. In 2024, only 47% of Americans over the age of 18 met the guidelines for aerobic activity. This honestly sounds about right, because it's difficult trying to get my clients to dedicate time each week to cardio. But let's be honest, the majority of people that are doing cardio aren't doing it for the love of running. A lot of people are doing it to burn fat and be healthier. But if we all have limited time within our lives to dedicate to exercise, how are we supposed to accomplish all this? That's where sprinting comes in. In this research article by Dr. Goblin Radarli, the effects of sprinting and running were compared. In this 7-week study, training programs were conducted 3 times per week, with one group performing 4 to 6 wind gait anaerobic sprints with a 4.5 minute recovery, while the other group did continuous endurance training that consisted of 30 to 50 minutes of cycling at 60% VO2 max. At the end of this study, it was found between both groups significant improvements on VO2 max, anaerobic power and capacity, and significant decrease in body fat and in waist circumference. When it comes to burning fat and calories, everyone is usually told the same thing: to go out there and start running. But this study shows sprinting can be just as effective as continuous endurance training in a fraction of the time, solving a huge problem that 53% of Americans face when it comes to being active. Something that's so amazing about sprinting is even after you finish your quick sprint workout, you're still burning a lot of calories because of the afterburn effect, excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, or EPOC. This happens when your body fights to go back to a normal state post-sprint, which in some cases can last up to 36 hours post-workout. And as we all know, if we want to burn fat, we need to burn calories. Speaking of fat, sprinting is amazing at burning visceral fat. Visceral fat is the fat stored around our organs, which can be very dangerous if we have too much of it. So not only does sprinting improve body composition, but it improves our overall health. But it doesn't stop there. Sprinting also improves insulin sensitivity, which helps prevents the body from storing excess calories as fat. Something else we hear about cardio is we will lose muscle while we do it, but that's not something you need to worry about. Sprinting is a form of dynamic resistance training that puts an extreme load on the body. Sprinting primarily targets the fast twitch muscle fibers in the posterior chain, which includes hamstrings, glutes, and calves. The fast twitch muscle fibers, also known as type 2 muscle fibers, are primarily responsible for size and power. But having power is not only for athletes, as it can benefit everyday people as well. Sprinting not only strengthens your lower body, but also strengthens your heart muscles as well, reducing systolic and diastolic blood pressure, which improves overall vascular health. Regular sprinting can also reduce your resting heart rate, which helps efficiency for your cardiovascular system. Heart disease alone kills more people annually than all cancers and strokes combined. So if we can improve our heart health and longevity, why not start sprinting? So today we learned not only do we get similar improvements in VO2 max, anaerobic power and capacity, and significant decreases in body fat and waist circumference for a fraction of the time with sprinting. But we can also improve our heart health and longevity as we age. Sprinting is definitely the way to go, and I highly suggest you try adding it to your training regimen. Now, if you want to get into sprinting, I recommend ramping up yourself properly. If you go straight into an intense sprint workout, but have gone years without sprinting, then you will run a high chance of injuring yourself. For people just starting out, I recommend sprinting in short bursts for about 10 to 30 seconds with 2 to 4 minute rests in between for about 3 rounds 2 times a week. And when that becomes easy, increase the number of rounds and even days out of the week if you can handle it. The great things about sprints is you can do it outside, on a treadmill, on a sled, a swimming pool, and even a bike. So now I'd love to hear from you guys. If you've been struggling with burning fat in some form of capacity, comment down below. I'll be able to give you advice to help you along your fitness journey. I also want you guys to go out there and start implementing sprint workouts based on my recommendations. Let me know how it goes and how you felt doing it. And if you like this type of content, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and let me know what you want in the next video.
Like and subscribe.